Hello, this is University Time News. This program covers the most interesting and exciting events of the Commonwealth of Russian oil gas companies, higher education institution, and energy company consortium. At Utro TV studios, Eugene Tour. In today's issue, they come from different regions. Leaders of students consortium teams from different cities from all over the country come to USTU. Talented Youth Unifying Forum Morning of Urals. Way to go, youngsters! Lukoil Perm's Council of Young Professionals. Perspective Biocomplex, a scientific development of a company union titan. Hot ice. Omsk is preparing for the international ice hockey tournament for Gazprom Neft Cup. From the 11th to the 13th of April, heads of youth of all Russian Republic organization Russian student groups meet for the first time at the regional headquarters located in Komi Republic at Ukhta State Technical University. 60 commanders and commissars of student teams from 40 Russian regions come to Ukhta. The participants were submerged into the student construction movement atmosphere right from the front steps of the university entrance. Our correspondent also took part in the meeting. Hundreds of participants from 10 regions discussed current achievements or talked about the future. USTU prepared an extensive visit program for its guests, but most importantly, USTU intended to raise the subject of Perspective All-Russian Construction Project in Ukhta sponsored by the university, a well-recognized brand countrywide, the birthplace of the first Russian oil. As an idea, it's not bad at all. It's approved by all of the officials, regional authorities, as well as our partners. The question is how we can implement this project. It is clear that the project is resource-intensive and not going to be easy. But if we manage to get closer to the implementation stage, this could be a great place for the all-Russian construction site. Besides, USTU as a hosting party is eligible to apply for an extended quota for this all-Russian student construction team gathering. It begins in November in the Kremlin Assembly Hall in Moscow. The number of participants from Komi Republic will be increased to 50 to 70 people. A youth forum morning 2014 took place in Urals. Talented people from all Ural Federal District region gathered together in one place, thus joined forces, personal experiences and energy to solve important problems. Magnitogorsk Technical University students proved to be the most active. Every morning, hundreds of thousands of people around the world wake up, drink coffee, have breakfast and rush to work or school. It is in the morning that a continuous string of events begins to unravel and at times technological inventions are born. It is in the morning that millions of ideas are embodied and accumulated throughout generation experience is utilized. Our world in its current form is the result of tremendous educational process and scientific discoveries directly dependent on people involved in them. That's why once a year, 1,500 of people's morning begins a bit differently. The most talented and promising representative of politics, science, business and culture hold meetings on a single educational site in 2 shifts, where they express their ideas, present projects and identify new directions for country development. What does morning mean to them? To them, it's their home region, its political, scientific and cultural potential. It's Urals, territory of the development. This year, the 4th Youth Forum Morning 2014 develops new features. The participants of the forum gather at Karagaysky Bor, the territory of one of the largest resorts in the Chelyabinsk region, which means steep climate, pine tree, fresh air, and pollution-free region. On its premises, there is a spring water pond and a well-equipped beach. The site is known for its comfortable conditions. They study and participate in cultural events in special outdoors educational tents. All meals are prepared according to the highest standards. Karagaysky Bor Resort's infrastructure meets all the requirements needed to hold such a forum. The main direction of Morning 2014 Forum will be the topic of national identity and patriotic education. During major military constructions, meetings with Russian war heroes, Olympic and Paralympic champions. Scientists, inventors, and artists, young people will have a chance to find answers to most important questions, such as what is the meaning of life, what do I want to become, what should I love my country for. A Youth Forum Morning 2014 also includes colorful shows and great opening and closing ceremonies. Exciting athletic competition and interesting networking are a big part of it as well. However, the most important remains the implementation of the best projects with a grant fund of 8 million rubles. This means that the best ideas will not remain on paper, but be implemented in order to have every citizen of our country happily say good morning. Sensational Space and Creativity event. Not a calendar, but student spring at the Kuzba State Technical University is over. The best USTU creative acts were presented at a festive gala concert. Our next story is about a fantasy space travel. The calendar spring has sprung, and academic spring has bloomed in Kuzba State Technical University as well. It's no secret that students live a carefree life from finals to finals, and Student Spring Festival is something to look forward to for many. All of the Student Spring 2014 Festival participants were congratulated by Andrei Alexandrovich Krechetov on behalf of the rector. Dear colleagues, on behalf of the rector, on behalf of the university executive staff, and the entire faculty, I congratulate all students with the beginning of Student Spring 2014. Congratulations! Student Spring is not just a festival. Preparation for this event is highly complex. Affiliates presented a vibrant concert program. We look forward to seeing concert programs developed by institutions. I want to mention wonderful hosts' words, which were the beginning of the performances. Only spectator can say about the success of the concert. The opening, all of the acts, and the students was simply fascinating. Bravo! The Student Spring has come. It was a wonderful concert. It was bright, fun, and full of energy. It was interesting to watch these young talents. It was cool. There was a sea of positive emotions. Student Spring lies ahead. We wish all participants of Student Spring 2014 great songs, sparkling dances, witty jokes, and implementation of the original creative imagination. Every year at the Lukoil group, they organize a visiting session for the Council of Young Professionals. In addition to work discussions, there's always time for informal meetings and creative contests. Today, special for you, will show an exclusive video presentation of young professionals from Lukoil Perm company.
Пермский край не какой-нибудь Лондон. Сейчас здесь работать и жить стало модно. Все чаще мы видим счастливые лица и верим, что станем культурной столицей.
Много крутых предприятий, мы знаем всю таблицу Менделеева, они добывают. Пермских нефтяников вам представляем, это группа Lukoil в Пермском крае.
Разведка, бурение и разработка, добыча, сбыт и переработка. Все сферы компания объединяет и Пермский край продвигать помогает.
Мы верим, что счастье не за горами, в Перми так будет всегда. И после окончания вуза мы пришли работать сюда.
Зацени, это группа Lukoil в Перми. Мы гордимся молодыми рабочими. Зацени, это группа Lukoil в Перми. Самыми замечательными людьми.
Достойная зарплата, работа интересна. Всем в Лукойле найдется место. Меняйте на каску головные уборы. Лукойловцам все открыты просторы.
В учебном центре новичкам все расскажут и на посвящение даже нефтью помажут. А там поглядишь через год или два, участвуй в конкурсе профмастерства.
В спорткомплексе Сухарева будут вам рады. Мы 5 лет выигрываем спартакиаду. Ты можешь стать мисс или мистер Lukoil и в гребле победить на лодках дракон.
Мы верим, что счастье не за горами, в Перми не грустим никогда. 20 лет Lukoil по планете шагает, мы с ним в движении всегда.
Зацени, это группа Lukoil в Перми. Мы гордимся молодыми рабочими. Зацени, это группа Lukoil в Перми. Самыми замечательными людьми.
Много у Lukoil направлений в крае, и для тех, кто еще выбирает, с каждым вас познакомят близко наши молодые специалисты.
Я представитель проектного отдела. Раньше очень медленно двигалось дело. Технологии Лукойла помогут в труде. Теперь моделируем в полном 3D.
А мы нефть из земли добываем. Везде, где возможно, качаем. Готовы качать мы с утра до утра. Главное, чтобы добыча росла.
Тебя непонятно. Сними противогаз.
В общем, мы перерабатываем газ.
Я оператор. Меня зовут Ваня. Как нефть переработать? Отлично я знаю. битум, бензин, керосин производим, а на масле Лукойл даже дома готовим.
А я продаю лучший в мире бензин. Заправим и Боинг, и ваш Баргузин. Эй, парень, шестерку ты экто залей. Добавим машине баварских кровей.
Мы верим, что счастье не за горами, в Перми так будет всегда. Наш любимый Лукойл, мы рады, что пошли работать сюда.
Зацени, это группа Лукойл в Перми. Мы гордимся молодыми рабочими. Зацени, это группа Лукойл в Перми. Самыми замечательными людьми.
The future of many city foreign enterprises depends on young professionals. For example, the group of companies Titan encourages young people to participate not only in creative life but in serious research as well. During Russian Business Week in Moscow, Omsk companies introduced the project Biocomplex, which is part of the Argo industrial cluster. More information about the large-scale development is in our following story. According to the governor Viktor Nazarov, the people, their intellectual potential and innovative ideas are the main treasure of the Omsk region. Deep processing of grain crops project by a complex of Titan is a great testament to that. It's a tremendous increase in added value in achievement of 5 or more high-level products. During a joint meeting of Siberian Bridge Coordinating Council of Russian Union of Entrepreneurs and Coordinating Council of Industrial Scientific Technology Policy of Interregional Association Siberian Concord, our citizen Mikhail Sutyaginsky presented his innovative project to Siberian industry representatives in Moscow. This cluster is important not only to the Omsk region. This is a direction that will give a powerful impulse to the development of Russia. In particular, if we talk about Omsk region, we must process product on site and export high-tech production to the market in order to sell it. Then there will be a clear understanding of earning value or an additional cost. Biocomplex project is based on the principle of renewable feedstock deep processing, which allows to save mineral resources, to manufacture modern high-technology products with high added value, to increase output of import replacement products, and to establish virtually waste-free enterprises. However, one company cannot implement such a large-scale project. It needs a regional and state support. Anyone, including enterprises of Siberian Federal District, regional industrial enterprises who are interested in issuing of import as well as substitution products with high added value, could take on the role of a lecturer. The chairman of Coordinated Council on Industrial and Scientific Technical Policy Siberian Concord, Viktor Nazarov, assured us that not only Omsk but the entire country will be able to enjoy the products manufactured under Biocomplex project. Gazprom Dobych Nadim always stands out with its events. The company has held an unusual racetrack event. In the open air, in addition to the motor racing competitions, they set up an interactive installation that was dedicated to Year of Culture in Russia. The key element of the race was the fuel duel. What is it? Who won it? Our correspondent from the event. Here they are, fast, brave and fearless. Today we can see some newcomers from Omsk, Nizhnevartovsk, Tyumen and Nadim. For the first time in the history of the event, 32 players competed in the 3 types of cars. Car types, participants, as well as the geography of the participants varies. Today, Tyumen representatives already came. Young people who are 17 but already have international licenses to participate in the race and are trained by distinguished masters of sport of the Soviet Union came to the event. This shows the significance of our race. Within the motor race competition, they decided to hold a fuel duel. What's better, natural gas or gasoline? It doesn't take a lot to test the cars for the exhaust emission standards. The undisputed leader in both categories was natural gas. Interactive historical installation Russian key dates, dedicated to the Year of Culture, allowed participants to peek at the Peter the Great era and fly into space. I would like to thank masters of Medvezhensky GBD line maintenance service. They have made almost an exact copy of the existing missile R-7 in time for the 80th anniversary of Yuri Alexandrovich Gagarin. An exciting reindeer race helped warm up before the extreme auto competition. Yamal biathlon competition has helped remember how to shoot a slingshot, throw a spear, and hunt wild animals. Well, the real drive, of course, was awaiting at the race. At this time, given the technology which is now used at the track, these competitions became traditional. It is clear that not only average cars, but also the motor vehicles with significant improvements participate here. Each machine has been prepared in accordance with the requirements of the Russian Automobile Federation. As usual, communication and facilities management provided the track. We've just produced the extra angle between the flanks and will allow participants to fully realize their own potential and car capabilities. Lada 2108 and Lada 2109 of a A1600 class started first. As they say, these are cars with fuel injection. They have been improved up to the smallest detail. Some of them have 200 HP under the hood. D2N on-field class and UAs of T1 2500 class also participated in the race. Steep turns and crashes, number of which this year was a record, made the event more spectacular. It is evident that there are some newcomers who are making mistakes. Drive on bars and flip a car from its wheel onto its roof. All coaches, participants, and the audience understand that. The contest was intense. There were 4 sets of medals in the mix, 3 classes and a team event. Tumen resident Kirill Rasputin was the modernized motorcar contest. 17-year-old high school student won over judges and many famous drivers' hearts with his masterful skills. He also became an idol for the public. I've been doing karting since I was 8 years old. This year I drew a motorcar. It made good impression. There were a lot of gifts. Among the crew of Class WAS cars, the first 2 places were given to Nadim residents Sergei Tribunsky and Edward Jevtonog. Alexander Savchenkov from Novy Urengoy won 3rd place. Failed motorcar race still inspired Gazprom Dobych Nadim representative Valery Zhuravlov to participate in another class race. Once again, he became the winner of the WAS contest. He also won sympathy of all of the audience. Lada 2108 let me down. It's a pity. I really would have competed well there. They were worthy opponents, but that's just the name of the game. It's a sport, it's cars, it's just a bunch of metal. I enjoy racing because of the competitive spirit, the adrenaline and sea of emotions that come with it. I really want to thank you all because this time we managed to show real driving and to demonstrate our iron horses in the way that we see them. Incentive prizes were given out to the winners of the respective original categories. They went to the youngest rider of the competition for the most broken car and to a participant who had traveled to the competition from afar. According to the jury, representative of Nizhnevartovsk Dmitry Bolin showed the most spectacular riding. Consolation prize went to Leonid Tabalin from Surgut. Finally, there is another piece of news for sports fans. Omsk will host an international hockey tournament Gazprom Neft Cup for the 6th time. Teams of the group Vostok are going to play at Omsk Arena. The super final tournament will also be held there. More on how the city and the arena are preparing for the 8th international tournament among children CHL teams in our next report. One of the biggest arenas in the Ural is Omsk Arena. It's a modern building with complete modern infrastructure for hockey matches at the highest level, including international games. It has the required amount of locker rooms, to be precise 6 of them, and equipped gyms and press center. Service personnel is well aware of what is needed to hold a professional level hockey game. I have been sharpening skates since 1975. There is a special rule for it. You should measure out the shaft, put it out, load it with diamond, turn around, and they will perform like clockwork. Every sport requires different level of ice softness and temperature. Figure ice skating requires slightly softer ice to make it easier for the athletes to create smooth movements and shapes on ice. Hockey requires harder ice to avoid weight bearing. After each game, we flood a new layer of ice water, which passes through 3 purification stages. The tournament will be covered by a large number of journalists. I think we will take in stride the last year's figure, when more than 100 people, more than 100 publications from completely different parts of our country have been accredited to the tournament in Omsk. This time, 24 teams will participate in it. Grand Super Final will be held on April 25th in Omsk. It's a great event. It also requires a lot of informational preparation. All of the infrastructure of Omsk hockey will be provided to children teams, the same as to adult participants. This tournament will be filled with positivity. They will remember this game forever, even long after the tournament is over. To some it will be the joy of the victory. There will be those who will lose, of course. And perhaps there will be tears. It all happens. I've been through all of it myself. Chat with the guys only to have positivity at the tournament. I wish you a great, honest, and beautiful game. Let the best win. That's all for today. UTimeNews team wishes everyone sunny weather. Watch University Time News online. With you at the studio was Eugen Tour. See you in our next broadcast.